against the Islamic State-linked militants in Sokoto State in coordination with the Nigerian government. U.S. President Donald Trump announced the powerful and deadly strikes, claiming the militants have been, and I quote, targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians, something the Nigerian government has denied. The country's Foreign Affairs Minister, Yusuf Chuga, spoke to the BBC's Newsday program today, and he confirmed that the strike was a joint operation and had nothing to do with a particular religion. The Nigerian government has previously said framing the crisis as a persecution of Christians alone oversimplifies a complex security situation. Now, in a statement after the strike, they called the violence by ISIL fighters an affront to Nigeria's values and to international peace and security. Officials did not specify which faction was hit, but it was Lakurawa, a locally known Islamic State Sahel province affiliate active in border states like Kebbi and Sokoto, where violence has intensified against remote communities and security forces. Reports have been made about the strikes also hitting the town of Ofa, where a hotel was damaged and one person was injured. Well, let's now talk to the BBC's Chukwunaime Obiejesi, who is in the capital, Abuja, to get more insights on.
Hello. So the governments of Nigeria have all, like you said, have affirmed that it was a joint operation between Nigeria's government and the government of the United States. On the ground, local authorities in Tambuwal and Tangaza local government areas of Sokoto State have confirmed to the BBC that the strikes did hit known sites that are known to be camps for these Lakurawa militant groups. However, the community has also told the BBC that for them in that community, the last time they had any bandit disturbance was more than 2 years ago, and there has been relative peace in their place. So they were wondering why their community was also targeted in their attacks, even though the airstrike that landed there fortunately landed in an open space and did not hurt anybody, any civilian. And like you mentioned also, there was an effect in Ofa. Ofa is a town in Kwara State, not even in the northwestern region. It is located in the north central region of the country, where authorities say about 5 buildings have been damaged. About also some people were injured, including a mother and her young baby. The people there, when we spoke with them, told the BBC that they were quite afraid when the attacks happened, and the owner of the hotel, some of the owner of the hotel and some of the people that we spoke to had things to say about the attack, and this is what they had to say.
This rumor and this issue of coming of Americans, it's been lingering for a while now, so coming to Nigeria to do that is just to set a pace for Nigeria also that puts your leg in. We don't need to be fighting to go to Burkina Faso, go to other places and be fighting while our own house is on fire.
In the course of trying to fight the terrorists, innocent life could be lost. Lives could be lost in the course of trial, as that has happened in the past.
What I can say is that there was a damage to our properties, and our customers were dispersed, and one of our staff was also injured. So he has been taken to the hospital. He's currently still receiving treatment.
Well, earlier on, I spoke to Timothy Avele, who is a security analyst based in Delta State, and I asked him why this region was targeted by the United States.
In that area, we have about 10 to 20 camps of the Karawa in about 5 local government areas. They spread in communities in about 5 to 6 local government areas, bordering Sokoto and Kebbi State. So for now, the Karawa, they fight even bandits, and they sometimes free hostages. But at the same time, they have a lot of money because they also go into kidnapping. Some people say they are part of the Fulani bandits. So they are part of the bandits, they are part of ISIS, and then in their form of recruiting, they spend close to $1 million to recruit for one recruit. And they are kind of preaching to recruit, get new recruits. So the activity, though low level, but we have seen that in Kebbi, early this year, they strike to kill about 15 persons. So the area that US strike is close within the border of Niger and Sokoto State, that's Nigeria and Niger.
Now, some analysts say that Lakurawa, which is an offshoot of the Islamic State group, could have been the target. How much of an impact would this have in fighting terrorism, especially in the northwestern part of the country?
They are growing, maybe just as Boko Haram started. So, but I think they are a lesser threat compared to the bandits, ISIL, and Boko Haram.
So if you say that they are a lesser threat, would you say that this airstrike, would it have any major impact? Would it just have a minimal impact in the fight against terrorism that Nigeria has been facing for the last 10 years or so?
The strike is a kind of a message. You remember that the Nigerian government have labeled the Lakurawa as foreign terrorists, so they are not Nigerian according to Nigerian government. So they feel that maybe they can start with the Lakurawa to send a message to other groups like the Fulani bandits, the ISIL and Boko Haram, who are mostly Nigerian. So I think the strike is a message that we can get to you at any time, not really maybe giving impact to diminish the attack, but it's kind of giving a message that, well, if you can come up for negotiations, and maybe we can listen to you. So it's kind of a passing message to the other groups.
Now, what's the probability of a reprisal attack happening from some of the terrorists that are operating in the western part of the country?
I don't think that will happen now. Because the terrorists now, they want to see how they can take cover for now. You know, they were not expecting the strike from the US. They were not expecting it. So it's a kind of a shock, kind of surprise to other terrorist groups. So for now, what they will be thinking of is how they can change strategies, how they can hide in case the US still want to continue the strike.
Let's head to Somalia now, where electoral officials are counting the votes.
Victims of attacks have been from all backgrounds. Christmas Eve, a suspected suicide bomber attacked a mosque in Nigeria's northeastern Borno state, killing at least 5 people and wounding dozens. No one here would doubt that there is a real problem with violence in the north of Nigeria. It is the suggestion that Christians are being particularly targeted that is questioned.
For Nigerians, this is a real security situation that is killing Nigerian Muslims and Christians and everyone, and any effort that can help towards saving lives in Nigeria will be welcomed by Nigerians. Unfortunately, President Trump's narrative is divisive and is creating further tensions on the ground in Nigeria.
Donald Trump came to power promising a less interventionist foreign policy, but has been increasingly keen to use America